You're sitting in your favorite armchair, the afternoon sun streaming through the window, and you catch a glimpse of your partner across the room. There's a flicker of warmth, a memory of closeness that once came so easily. But lately, you've felt distant, not just from them, but from yourself. If you're in your 60s, you might have noticed that desire isn't what it used to be. And it's not just about your body changing. Your mind plays a bigger role than you might think. For many seniors in America, mental health can either dim or ignite the spark of intimacy. This guide, created for the Senior Health Channel, is here to help you understand how your mental well-being shapes your desire and offer practical ways to reignite that spark. We'll explore the connection between mental health and sex, share stories of seniors who found renewed passion, and provide tips to boost your libido while nurturing your mind. Our goal is to empower you to feel vibrant, connected, and fully alive in your 60s and beyond. Let's start by looking at why mental health matters so much when it comes to desire. As you age, your body goes through changes, hormonal shifts, physical limitations, or health conditions. But your mind often has an even bigger impact on your sex life. Stress, anxiety, depression, and even the way you see yourself can either fuel or dampen your interest in intimacy. In the U.S., about 1 in 5 adults over 60 experiences mental health challenges, according to the National Institute of Mental Health. And many don't seek help because of stigma or the belief that it's just part of aging. But here's the truth. Your mental state isn't something you have to accept as it is. It's something you can nurture, and doing so can transform your relationship with intimacy. Take someone like Linda, a 66-year-old from Michigan. After retiring, she found herself feeling isolated and down. Her days felt empty without the routine of work, and she started withdrawing from her husband, both emotionally and physically. She had no interest in intimacy, and it wasn't because she didn't love him. It was because her mind was clouded with sadness. But after joining a local support group and starting therapy, Linda began to feel lighter. She learned to manage her depression, and as her mood improved, so did her desire. She and her husband started small, with long talks and gentle touches, and over time their physical connection returned. Linda's story shows that mental health isn't just a side note, it's a cornerstone of a fulfilling sex life, especially in your 60s. So how does mental health affect desire? Let's break it down. Stress is one of the biggest culprits, whether it's financial worries, health concerns, or family responsibilities. Stress triggers your body's fight-or-flight response, releasing cortisol that can dampen your libido. When your mind is racing with to-do lists or fears, it's hard to feel present enough for intimacy. Anxiety works in a similar way, often making you overthink or worry about performance. You might wonder if you're still attractive, if you'll be able to satisfy your partner, or if physical changes will get in the way. Depression, on the other hand, can sap your energy and interest in things you once enjoyed, including sex. It can make you feel disconnected, unworthy, or simply too tired to engage. For someone like Robert, a 68-year-old from Texas, depression after losing a close friend left him feeling numb. He had no desire for intimacy, and it strained his relationship with his wife. But with the help of a therapist and medication, he slowly rediscovered his passion, proving that addressing mental health can open the door to closeness. Body image is another mental health factor that plays a big role in desire. As you age, your body changes, wrinkles, weight gain, or health-related scars can make you feel less attractive. In a culture that often glorifies youth, it's easy to internalize the idea that you're no longer desirable. But desire starts in the mind, not the mirror. For example, Susan, a 65-year-old from California, struggled with body image after gaining weight in her 60s. She avoided intimacy, worried her husband wouldn't find her attractive. But through therapy, she learned to focus on what she loved about herself. Her warmth, her humor, her strength, and her husband's reassurance helped her feel desired again. Studies from the American Psychological Association show that seniors who feel good about themselves, regardless of appearance, are more likely to maintain an active sex life. Now let's talk about how to boost your mental health and your desire in practical ways. First, address stress head-on. Chronic stress can feel overwhelming, but small habits can make a big difference. Try setting aside a few minutes each day for relaxation techniques, like deep breathing or meditation. For instance, sit quietly, inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. This simple practice can calm your mind and lower cortisol levels, making you more open to intimacy. For someone like Clara, a 70-year-old from Arizona, this was a game changer. She was stressed about her daughter's health issues, and it killed her interest in sex. But after starting a daily meditation routine, she felt more grounded, and she and her husband began to reconnect through quiet evenings together, which naturally led to physical closeness. Another way to manage stress is to create boundaries around your time and energy. In your 60s, you might be juggling caregiving, grandkids, or community commitments. It's easy to overextend yourself, leaving no room for intimacy. Learn to say no to things that drain you, and carve out time for your relationship. For example, James, a 67-year-old from Florida, was overwhelmed with volunteer work at his church. He and his wife barely had time to connect, and their sex life suffered. But after cutting back on commitments and setting aside Friday nights for date nights at home, they rediscovered their spark. They'd cook dinner, play music, and dance in the living room, which often led to more intimate moments. Prioritizing your relationship isn't selfish. It's essential for your mental and sexual well-being. If anxiety is holding you back, try focusing on the present moment. Anxiety often stems from worrying about the future or ruminating on the past. But intimacy happens in the now. Mindfulness practices can help you stay grounded. For instance, during a moment of closeness, focus on what you can feel, the warmth of your partner's hand, the softness of their voice. This can quiet your worries and help you connect more deeply. For someone like Edward, a 69-year-old from New York, anxiety about performance had kept him from intimacy for years. He worried he wouldn't be able to satisfy his partner due to erectile difficulties. But after working with a therapist on mindfulness techniques, he learned to let go of expectations and focus on the moment. He and his partner started with non-sexual touch, like holding hands or cuddling, which took the pressure off and eventually led to a more fulfilling physical connection. Depression can be harder to tackle, but it's worth the effort. In the US, many seniors don't seek help for depression because they feel it's a normal part of aging, but that's not true. If you're feeling persistently sad, tired, or disconnected, talk to your doctor or a therapist. Therapy, often covered by Medicare, can help you process your emotions and find joy again. Antidepressants can also be an option, though some, like SSRIs, can lower libido. If this happens, ask your doctor about alternatives, like bupropion, which has fewer sexual side effects. For example, Patricia, a 71-year-old from South Carolina, struggled with depression after losing her sister. She had no interest in intimacy, and it strained her marriage. But after starting therapy and switching to a different medication, she began to feel like herself again. She and her husband started taking evening walks, holding hands and talking, which slowly brought back their physical connection. Building a positive self-image is another key to boosting desire. Aging might change your body, but it doesn't change your worth. Focus on what makes you feel good about yourself, whether it's your sense of humor, your wisdom, or the way you care for others. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, and avoid comparing yourself to unrealistic standards. For someone like Dorothy, a 70-year-old from Georgia, this was transformative. She felt self-conscious about her wrinkles and avoided intimacy, but her partner's compliments and her own efforts to dress in ways that made her feel confident, like wearing a favorite scarf or earrings, helped her see herself in a new light. Studies from the Journal of Gerontology show that seniors with a positive self-image are more likely to maintain an active sex life, proving that how you feel about yourself matters more than how you look. Connection with your partner is just as important as your own mental health. In your 60s, intimacy often deepens through emotional closeness, which can naturally lead to physical desire. Make time for meaningful conversations, shared activities, or small gestures of affection. For example, Henry, a 73-year-old from Oregon, noticed that he and his wife had drifted apart after years of focusing on their kids and grandkids. They started setting aside time each evening to talk about their day, share memories, or plan a trip. Those moments of connection made them feel closer, and their physical intimacy followed naturally. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that emotional intimacy is a strong predictor of sexual satisfaction in older adults, so don't underestimate the power of a good conversation or a shared laugh. Physical health also plays a role in boosting desire, and it's closely tied to your mental well-being. Regular exercise, like walking, yoga, or swimming, can lift your mood by releasing endorphins, which can also increase your libido. It improves blood flow, which is crucial for arousal, and makes you feel more energetic. For someone like Susan, a 65-year-old from California, joining a senior yoga class not only helped her manage stress, but also gave her more energy for intimacy. She and her husband started doing yoga together, which became a new way to connect physically and emotionally. A balanced diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins, supports hormone health and overall vitality. Limiting alcohol and quitting smoking can also help, as they can dampen desire and affect performance. Sleep is another often overlooked factor. Poor sleep can worsen stress, anxiety, and depression, all of which kill libido. Many seniors struggle with sleep issues, but creating a bedtime routine can help. Try going to bed at the same time each night, avoiding screens before sleep, and creating a calming environment with dim lights and soft music. For example, James, a 67-year-old from Florida, found that his insomnia was making him too tired for intimacy. He started a routine of reading a book before bed and avoiding caffeine after noon, which improved his sleep and his desire. Studies from the American Academy of Sleep Medicine show that better sleep is linked to higher sexual satisfaction in older adults. So don't ignore this piece of the puzzle. Medical support can also help if mental health challenges are affecting your desire. If you're on medications like antidepressants or blood pressure drugs, they might be lowering your libido as a side effect. Talk to your doctor about alternatives or adjustments. For instance, Clara, a 70-year-old from Arizona, found that her antidepressant was killing her interest in sex. Her doctor switched her to a different medication, and within weeks, she felt more open to intimacy. Hormonal changes, like lower testosterone or estrogen, can also play a role. Hormone therapy is an option for some seniors, though it's not right for everyone. Your doctor can help you decide. In the U.S., many healthcare providers are trained to discuss sexual health with older adults, and Medicare often covers visits for related concerns. Don't shy away from professional help for your mental health, either. Therapy isn't just for crisis, it's a tool to help you thrive. A therapist can help you work through stress, anxiety, or body image issues, giving you strategies to feel more confident and connected. Sex therapy, which is becoming more common in the U.S., can also help you and your partner address specific concerns about intimacy. For example, Edward, a 69-year-old from New York, visited a sex therapist with his wife after anxiety about performance kept him from being intimate. They learned techniques like focusing on non-sexual touch and setting realistic expectations, which brought them closer than ever. These resources are widely available, often covered by insurance, and can make a big difference in your sex life. Lifestyle changes can support both your mental health and your desire. Hobbies like painting, gardening, or playing music can lift your spirits and give you a sense of purpose, which can spill over into your relationship. For someone like Patricia, a 71-year-old from South Carolina, taking up watercolor painting after retirement gave her a new outlet for her emotions. She felt more fulfilled, which made her more open to intimacy with her husband. Social connection is also key. Staying engaged with friends, family, or community groups can reduce loneliness and boost your mood. Studies from the American Association of Retired Persons show that seniors with strong social ties are more likely to maintain an active sex life. So don't isolate yourself. Let's debunk a few myths while we're at it. Some people think that desire naturally disappears in your 60s, but that's not true. Many seniors remain sexually active well into their 70s and 80s. Another myth is that mental health issues can't be fixed at this age, but that's nonsense. With the right support, you can feel better at any stage of life, and that can reignite your passion. Finally, some believe that sex isn't important for older adults, but research shows the opposite. Intimacy improves mental health, reduces stress, and enhances overall well-being. Clearing up these misconceptions can free you to pursue desire without shame or doubt. Boosting desire in your 60s can also have a ripple effect on your life. It can make you feel more engaged with the world, whether you're volunteering at your local library or hosting a family barbecue. It can give you the energy to try new things like taking up photography or traveling to a new city. For someone like Dorothy, a 70-year-old from Georgia, reconnecting with her husband through intimacy inspired her to join a book club where she made new friends. The confidence and joy from their closeness spilled over, making her feel more alive than ever. For caregivers or family members, supporting a senior's mental health and intimacy is just as important. Encourage them to seek help if they're struggling, and celebrate their efforts to stay connected with their partner. As we wrap up, think about what desire means to you. Maybe it's a passionate moment, a quiet cuddle, or a shared laugh that makes you feel alive. Whatever it is, you deserve that joy, that connection, that sense of being fully you. Your mental health doesn't have to hold you back. It can be the key to unlocking a more vibrant sex life. So take a step today, try a relaxation technique, talk to your partner, or reach out to a therapist. Your 60s are a time to thrive, not just survive. Here's to nurturing your mind, reigniting your desire, and living with a heart wide open. Thank you for joining us on the Senior Health Channel, where we're all about helping you shine. We'll see you in the next guide.